I'm very excited to be showing you this video. Like always, this is great entertainment, but if you really want to see the results and if you want to see the things that people literally pay me for, then definitely grab a notebook and a pen, get a pen to paper, materialize it into your world so that this information isn't just stuck on a screen, but is actually in front of you, tangible in the world in front of you. And so let's get into it. Let me actually explain to start with how I got here. And so this time last year, I graduated from university. I did a very competitive degree at a very competitive university, one of the best in the UK. And I decided not to go in the corporate route. It wasn't for me. I always knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur and to help people. And so that's exactly where I got here. Now, when I finished my exams, this was at the worst mental state, physical health, or everything. It was like rock bottom for me when I came out of it due to circumstances beyond my control. And it just plummeted me to rock bottom. Now, the caveat here is that I wanted to build myself up from scratch. Though I was in a position where I had no willpower, I had self trust issues because I'd gotten that far. And I also had lagging results because by this point I had been doing gym working out for about 4 years. And so 4 or 5 years actually. And so it was a case of now my physique no longer reflects that because I went through that period, that tumultuous period of not being able to work out effectively. And so this is sort of, if you ignore this little horrible demonstration in the middle, this is essentially just all the amount of people I've spoken to. So I started connecting with an international audience, speaking to guys from LA, California, New York, Toronto, Canada, UK, London, Wolverhampton, Warsaw, Turkey. You got Istanbul, you've got Ankara, Saudi Arabia, you've got Australia, Sydney, especially, and Adelaide. You also have India. You got guys in New York, guys in New Zealand. Sorry, guys in Poland, guys in the Netherlands. I definitely missed a few people, but I connected to an international audience. And what I noticed is that a lot of people suit in this description where they're looking, searching for help to sort of manifest and easily rebuild, restate the gym into their lives, they they struggle almost from a space of identity and a lack of conscious thought behind it because of the fact that they lack willpower. And so to show you that I really understand this really well, here's something about you. Recently, you've probably gone through a structural collapse. Now, what I mean by that is you've been through a transitionary period of your life. Either you finished university, you've gone back to your home, or you're at a new job or a new role in a new job, or you've decided to take a risk and go all out in your business and your dreams. Maybe you might be an artist and you realize that, hold on, I actually want to monetize my skills within my industry rather than working a part-time job, which is something I also offer, and I did it to my clients in LA. You're going through this transitionary period, and the time of the season in life, the last couple of years where you really spent working well on the physique, it got you to a certain bottleneck. It's got you to a certain level, and you haven't been able to plateau from that. And so, to show you that I understand this, sort of understand you more than you might know yourself, this description, this is the research that I pulled from everyone that I've worked with, condensed it down. This probably reflects you. I mean, you've probably been training 4 to 6 times a week and still look the same as you did a year ago. You know exactly what to do. You tell yourself it's a discipline problem, not a systems problem. You built real structure. You had an old routine, an old gym, an old life, and you lost it when life changed. And you made it mean something about your character. You allowed this external structural circumstance, this environmental shift, to dictate who you are at an identity level. And so you come home depleted, you have no plan, you have no decision fatigue, you have no fatigue, sorry, and the decision fatigue just overcomes and takes you over, and you default to whatever's easiest. Mom's cooking, this, that, and the other. The fact that cooking takes so long, for example, and you don't have enough time coming back from work, coming back from your business, coming back from whatever. And so no one's holding you to anything and you fall off quietly. Everyone sort of knows you as the guy who's been going to the gym for so long. They kind of don't question you on it anymore. And so you're almost suffering in silence in a sense. You relapse every time you relapse, every relapse becomes proof in the sense that you say that you're not a disciplined person, you always do this, or you beat yourself over because what used to be effortless has now introduced a level of friction which is working against you, and you feel like that's attacking you at an identity level to a level down to your conscious. This goes beyond your beliefs, this goes beyond your thoughts, this goes beyond your emotions, underlying through all of this. And so you're physically present in the gym, you're going there, but you're mentally floating through the rest of your life. It's almost like you want to be taken seriously by girls, by other guys, by your own parents, maybe, and you feel like the body is the reason you aren't. And if that sounds like you, chances are this video is going to help you. And so the way we're going to do this is we're going to reverse engineer my life because you're at a stage now where you need to re cement health and fitness as a cornerstone. You've already accepted that gym is going to be a part of your life, or health and fitness is going to be a part of your routine for the rest of your life. You've already accepted that. We don't need to convince you that the gym is good. You've been going, you do know. It's just that you have lagging results because you plateaued in the last couple of years. And the structural change present is such a big barrier. It's almost coming to attack your identity at a core. And so the reason I'm able to piece you apart like this and to help bring you up again from it is because I was also, when I graduated from university this time last year, fixing my life from first principles, where I was at a point where I did not like the gym. I remembered, I was able to recall what it was like in the past. Now I just had to bring it to fruition in the new environment where everything's changed, the locations changed, the friends have changed, and I already knew that gym and looking sexy was just a part of my existence. That was just me, like unequivocally, like undeniably, that is me. And so the fact that I had no willpower and I had so much mental decision fatigue and I was purposeless in life means that despite all that, despite coming from a worse situation than you was at the time, I was still able to effortlessly bring it back and enjoy it the whole way through. And off the back of that, I'm also able to monetize my dream, which is also showing life on the other side. Link in the description below if you want to work with me directly. I do this shit full time. And so if this is really transformative, because the claim that I said in the start of the video is as true as it gets. And so you have recently had a structural collapse, some change, a dramatic shift where it's not the same as before. And so now you're also maybe in this transitionary period. And so because of that, you've decided to make gym the focus, where it's like, I need to lock in again. You know, it's not a sense of like, I just need to carry on doing what I'm doing. No, gym needs to lock in again, whether that means the diet, whether that means the timing, whether that means a new split, whether that means anything else like that, becoming a social person in the gym, carving a new identity, or whatever it might be. Regardless, health and fitness is now a current priority in your life. And so you're trying to find a way to make staying good in the clothes you wear a part of life. And so that's exactly what we're going to go into. So what we're going to do is essentially reverse engineer, because I was at such a bad position, yet I was able to effortlessly bring it back. And if you are wondering, this is sort of the physique I've got right now: 190 pounds, about 86, 87 kilos. And I was doing 10 muscle ups at any time. There should be a school logo there. I don't know why it's not there. But yeah, this is the level I got to. And this was whilst gym was not the priority. Gym has not been the priority in my life, the big thing, for the last 4 years. And I've still, no, for the last 2 years. And I've still made progress, gotten leaner, built more muscle, enjoyed the gym, and exploded the parts of my body that I wanted to see shine, and also gained the weight and cut it down afterwards, doing it simultaneously, because health and fitness is an aspect of my life which is so effortless for me. And so, given these scenarios and the fact that I've already seen what it looks like on the other side, the single goal of this video is to get you to a point where you align with this statement here: I already knew gym and looking sexy was just a part of my existence. It wasn't a phase, it wasn't a thing, it wasn't a plateau. It's just a constant in your life that keeps going up. And so let's get to it. Here's what you're going to do: the workout split. The reason you're failing on the workout split is because it is not aligned to what you actually want. What I mean by that is, you've been fed a lie. It gets to a point where you play a sport, you do an activity, and after several years of doing it, you no longer track any playbook, any framework, anyone else's things. You might have even had a mentor in the past in a sport like boxing, for example, or even football, where they taught you these things, they taught you these tricks, these skills, these setup, these frameworks. But then after a few years, it gets to a point where you're able to play by ear. And so you don't walk in with a plan. You kind of just intuitively and instinctively know what to do. The reason people are at that end stage is because they're so in tune with who they are and where they need to get for their goals that they don't need to do this complicated thing. You're at the stage now where you've been working out for several years, learning so much science-based lifting stuff, learning the best split, powerlifting, strength building, this, that, and the other. You've got into a dick measuring contest with the friends that also go in the gym near you. And so you've fallen into a bit of a rat race in a sense. What I'm here to do is to show you that to play by ear is actually very simple. So I want you to think for yourselves for a second. What is the priority? Is it strength, or is it pure aesthetics? Or is it mobility? Is it lowering the HRV? Like, forget everything of what everyone told you, what everyone said the goal should be. What do you actually want to do? Because if it is just looking good and getting girls, then that's the goal. But if it is also looking strong and being there for your family and being ready for marriage, then that's also cool. Whatever it is, that will need a specific workout. We're gonna play by ear in a sense here, because we're not gonna pull a workout from the internet or Jeff Nippard or something like that. if the priority, for example, is we're going to take the just looking pure strength, pure aesthetics, sorry, just to look good, then what do we do? Well, to look good, the priority muscles are your shoulders, your lats, the upper chest, not the lower or the middle. I don't even think the lower exists. Biceps, especially, and maybe a thick neck too, and some traps and such. And so your workout needs to reflect that. You need to remove as much decision fatigue as possible and make the one split you know will build the results that you're looking for. A big part of making it effortless is completely disconnecting from the time, because if you love the day to day so much, you will never, it won't even occur to you that the time has passed. Okay. So you build this workout and it needs to be simple. I would not recommend anything beyond a 2 or 3 day split, like genuinely, like upper, lower, push pull legs, arms, that are push pull arms, even whatever the priority is, make it based on that. Do not go for because someone told you the Arnold split is going on, because it gets too intensive, right? So now you built this workout, you're going to put the priority muscle, not the priority lift, the priority muscle at the start of the workout. And so, for example, if your thing is shoulders on a push day, instead of doing bench first and then lateral raises, go straight into the lateral raise, go straight into the shoulder press, make the shoulders, whatever the priority of the big goal is, make that the actual focus of the day itself. And if you was to make it the focus, you'd be doing it at the point where you had the least fatigue and the most energy to do it. And so you'd simply just do it at the very start. It's so simple, but you've been fed this playbook and these frameworks and these blueprints of like so many other people's workouts. And so as a result of that, you've got a physique that doesn't look like what you actually envision to look like in the mirror. Because when I look in the mirror, I look sexy, I look strong, I look lean. That's exactly what my workout built for me. Another thing with the workout split is you want to remove as much decision fatigue. You want to make it as effortless as possible, in the sense that progressive overload rules, you wouldn't make a strength one or measure RPEs for pure aesthetics. You wouldn't do anything like that. You wouldn't complicate it and be like, okay, I'm going to do 6 reps of bench, and then I'm going to do 4 reps of this, and then another one I'm going to do 12 reps, and then I'm going to do a drops on top of that, and then the other one I'm going to do 6 reps but for 5 sets. Like, it just doesn't work like that. The more friction, the more you have to think about this, the harder it becomes, because you want to just assimilate it as easy as possible. Does that make sense? And so then we move on to the diet. Diet works the exact same way. Don't build a golden cage. This is a thing I'll be repeating a lot of the times in my videos. Do not be building a golden cage around your workout, around your routines. Whatever you're doing currently, it's just a case of mending that to the new responsibilities. So we're not going to overhaul everything and start cooking from scratch. No, if you're at home and you have your mom's cooking, then absolutely go for that. The only thing you need to change is the proportions that's offered in. And there might be a bit of resistance in that, but there'll be a lot less resistance. And eventually, the environment and the external circumstances will bend and fall to the strength of your will if you just continue to hold frame every time your belief is challenged. Whatever your meals are, these are actionable steps. So get your notebook out, write this stuff down. The workout split. Create your workout split once. Once you do that, never have to do not ever think about the workout for the next 3 months. Just run that and turn your brain off. After 3 months, a 90-day sprint, that's when you can reconsider everything. So pause this video if you need to, write down your workout split, get it in your notes app, put it on an app, whatever you use to track it. Just making sure that it's as effortless as it needs to be. So don't go ahead and add a new layer of things to do because you're like, oh, I need to track the workout now, so I need to do da. No, whatever's as most effortless as it can be. I traditionally like to use notebooks and pens, and that's all my sort of thing. I keep it in my bag. With the diet, I want you to do these actionable steps. I want you to go on, it could be ChatGPT, it could be Claude, it could be you could be Google, you might need to search this, but maintenance calorie calculator or daily calorie calculator, put in all the details, get that number out, and then also ask an LLM machine, Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, what your protein goal should be, and just add 10 grams of protein to that just to be safe, because chances are we end up lowballing it. It's the easiest one to overestimate. So you've got your protein goal, you've got your calories. All you need to do now is work out a way that you can fit that on a daily level by removing as much friction as possible. So you wouldn't add a fifth meal if the timing is inconsistent. You wouldn't. If you're running 2 meals, you might add a third, but that third one would not be intrusive. It very much glide well with the rest of your daily life. If you have mom's cooking and you have 1,000 calories left and 50 grams of protein, you can do your mom's cooking. What else can you add that will make sense to add it to your mom's cooking without it being intrusive, without it causing too much friction, without taking too much time to cook, and without tasting horrible? These are the things you're looking at. If you need to meal prep or take a lunch to work, what are the things that you're gonna have to meal prep for lunch and for work? Do you see what the difference? Do you see the difference in what we're doing here? I want you to dictate a daily meal plan. Do not switch it out for the week. And this moves on to our third point here, the daily lock. Get your notes app, write down, and create a box for your entire day, almost like it's a Google Calendar link, like it's a Google Calendar page. And I want you in the most simple way possible, write down your current daily routine. The moment you wake up, write down the time that you eat and the exact meals that you eat. Write down the times you go to work, or the times you work on your career, or the times you work on your business, or the time that you're doing something outside of the gym. Because please don't be the guy that just goes to the gym. That's the most boring person on the planet. And you and I want to be multifaceted people. So you're going to do deep work in certain blocks. You're also going to be commuting, put that in. You're also going to be having pre-workout meals and be in the gym, put that in. But also family time, anything, socializing, getting your steps in, 10K steps, FaceTime, the amount of time it takes for you to, like, a phone call a loved one, for example. Put that all in, the things you'll do every day, including the times you sleep, the times you get into bed, the times that you actually knock out. 24-hour period, what does an average day look like? There's sometimes where there's like multiple things, like depending on the day it will change. Just put work slash study. Yeah. But the idea is you keep the same frame the entire way. Now that you've got this entire frame, I want you to play around with the diet and the work to make sure that you can fit those meals in around the clock at any given day. Get the whole idea of weekends out of your mind. Think of it as a groundhog day where you wake up and every day repeats. No matter what, like, work day or whatever it is that you have on, you're able to work it out all together. And so find a way that's cohesive and effortless and easy, the least amount of friction. The idea behind this whole thing is that we remove as much decision fatigue and thinking behind the workout split. You just know that it works and it will bring you the results. Then you remove as much friction as possible from the diet, and you just run that every day, turn your brain off, and then you just know that the diet's going to get you to the point that you need to be. Obviously, if you're at a bulk, 300 calories. If you're at a cut, 300 deficit. I wouldn't do more than that. And I'd fill in the blanks with adventurous cardio, 2K steps on your rest days. Instead of going to the gym or like that being blank time, I would literally just treat it as a time to go and get some steps in. 10K steps take you about an hour and 20. And so then you move on to the daily lock. Now that you've got this daily routine, this is the blueprint. Just follow that. Turn your brain off. I've now given you the blueprint to effortlessly get the gains that you want, make the weight that you want and the leanness that you want, and also the daily routine. So at every single given moment, you know exactly what to do. If you just run this plan for a few days, your transformation will become so effortless that you will smash these plateaus that we discussed earlier. You'd be training 4 to 6 times a week, maybe even three, and you'll look so different to what you did 3 months ago. If you run this split, you'll know exactly what to do, and you'll have a system that will allow you to bring back the discipline that you had in a way that's effortless, whilst building real structure with a similar routine, a similar gym, and a similar life. And you don't lose it all when life changed. And so when your life changed, you were able to still gain despite the change in the routine, in the gym, in the old life. And so from that, you've built real structure again for long-term sustainability. Now that you know everything that you're doing and you've got so much mental willpower banked, you no longer come home depleted. You have a plan. You have no decisions to even get fatigued from, and you default to what the plan says, not whatever's easiest. And the plan happens to be whatever's easiest. You have something to hold you to it. Now that you've written it down and gotten it in person, you'll never fall off quietly because it's right there. It's a simple success to you is as simple as ticking a box. That I follow the routine or not? That I follow this daily routine and this plan as best as I physically can. That's all success means to you in this aspect. Relapse doesn't become proof. It's just you are a disciplined person. You don't always do it. What you always do is follow the plan because that's all you got to do. That's all that's on your mind. You're not scared to try again because it means that this is a new start and this will probably motivate you and it'll probably be easier than what you're running right now. You'll always be physically present in the gym. You'll no longer be mentally floating through the rest of your life. And even if you do, it will be in accordance to your plan. So you can almost turn your brain off. As soon as you get this plan dialed in for 2, 3 days, it will be on autopilot and you'll just be able to win. And so you'll be taken seriously by the girls, by the other guys, and by your own parents simply because you'll now build yourself up to a point where the results speak for themselves, and you smash through that plateau that you had, and you look different from a year ago, whilst everyone else still struggles at the same level that you do. If you run this split, I give you my word, you will get the gains that you're looking for in the quickest, most sustainable way, built for the long term, adapted to your current life, and it bridges the gap. I've seen it. I'm on the other side. That's why I'm able to share this information with you to make it as effortless, because during my worst times I knew how like easy it was, and so I just did it. You know what I mean? Now I've given you this new light and this new way to show you. I mean, you was always able to do this. The information is always free. It's just the implementation. So I put a lot of work and effort into what I do. On Instagram you'll probably see a ton of my client testimonials and wins. That's at Nightlock and then also I run a school community. So if you want to go straight into getting into a conversation with me, I do one-to-one calls and I help everyone out in this sort of thing. If you also want to monetize your careers, let's say that you're an artist or you're trying to blow up on social media, but it takes a while to blow up on organic and you need to build some skills. Shout me, I've been able to monetize without an audience online. And if you want a high level coaching and fitness from a guy who knows what he's talking about and doesn't give you some bullshit fluff, look at me on school, send me a text, send me a DM on Instagram. I'm available everywhere. Maybe just not on YouTube because it's hard to get into contact with people on there. So definitely do join up the community, link in the description, and we can take the conversation from there. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, I know I've got no doubt that this video here will manifest a life of health and fitness. This is the sole intention, to make the gym and working out effortless to you, and I hope I've achieved that here. Thank you.